Okay, my name is Dev Madan. I'm the art director at Sucker Punch. My responsibilities include conceptual work, character design, and pretty much being a thorn in the programmer's side. This game takes place 2 years after the previous adventure. This time Sly's out into the world doing his Master Thief moves, where the first game was about him becoming a thief. This game is really centering around him being a thief. Joining Sly out on his adventures are his two pals, Bentley and Murray. In this game, Bentley is out in the field with Sly as well as Murray. Bentley is our demolitions expert, armed with a long-range weapon as well as explosive devices. And Murray is our brawn and our muscle and the wheelman. And basically he gets to break stuff, he gets to throw stuff. We start the game with the same moves that we had in the last one. Additionally, we have a couple of new moves, including pickpocketing and crawling through vents, very thiefy. Again, continually keeping on theme with whatever's thiefier wins. We also have an open environment in terms of Sly being able to run around the city to get where he needs to get to, multiple ways to get to wherever he needs to go, the street, the rooftops, using his environment.
My name is Brian Fleming, and I am the producer of Sly 2 Band of Thieves and one of the founders of Sucker Punch. For those who finished Sly 1, at the end, the sort of setting is that Sly defeats a robotic enemy named Clockwork in the caldera of a huge volcano. And Sly 2 Band of Thieves takes place 2 years later when Sly learns that, in fact, the remains of that robot, Clockwork, have been unearthed. Seeing as Clockwork's been responsible for the death of virtually all of his family members, he assumes correctly that Clockwork will come after him if he's ever reassembled. So the quest in Sly 2 Band of Thieves is to prevent that from happening. There's sort of great debate amongst the authorities and in Sly's gang about who's taking it, but the clues seem to lead towards a nefarious gang of villains known as the Claw Gang. Dimitri is the first enemy, the first member of the Claw Gang that you encounter in the game. He's sort of a misunderstood art student who had this kind of aesthetic kinetic that was never appreciated by the art community. So in retribution, he's decided that he's going to make his livelihood forging the great masterpieces of the world and then selling those at auction to punish people who have such, in his opinion, such bad taste. And he has a key component of Clockwork is being used to help his counterfeiting aims. And so that's our first stop in the new game. 18 months ago when we kicked off development, we spent a lot of time trying to come up with one theme that could really unify all of our efforts for the development cycle. And we settled on a sentence which is Sly and the gang work together to pull off a string of big heists. And everything we did, we felt if we could tie it back into that, we would really have a very tight game. So at first it meant that we needed to obviously have a team of guys. So we needed to get Murray and Bentley kind of out of the van and out of their sort of more niche roles and bring them into the forefront and really give them a rich move set, let them be fully playable, give them unique strengths and weaknesses that are appropriate for them. And I think we've done a really nice job of that. And they all play through the same environments as Sly, and so you really do get the experience of playing this entire team. Then we decided that we needed to deliver the experience of a slick kind of heist movie feel. In particular, as the culmination of each of these episodes, you want to have one overly elaborate plan that's executed by the gang. And I think one of the things that's been enjoyable for us is playing with all the different aspects of that. So we have some sequences where you're playing one character and there's another character who's working beside you under AI control. There are situations where you're switching between characters because you might jump into one character's arms, he'll throw you across a fence, and then you switch back to the other character. So we're switching between controls. We also have situations that overlap in time where at a particular point I might pass you something and then go off to do my thing, and we'll play both sides of that. You'll play the side of the guys who received the key and the guy who's going to the next task. And so we've really tried to be creative in different ways of pulling off heists and giving players a cinematic experience while doing it. I hope we've been successful. Sly will be available in stores this September.